ever meandering trek towards the tomb of Annihilation. My name is Matt. Well, I won't steal our Friday Night DM's name because I don't think of myself as a merciful DM. I, as a very famous DM does, let the dice fall where they may. So, before we get too far into tonight, um, a couple of quick shout outs. We want to say a big thank you to Team MZ. They do a lot of great support for small streamers like us and others. You can check them out on Twitter. It's a great social community for if you're at all interested in streaming. Thank you to Many Sided Dice that are good friends of the show. They have a great magical item compendium, Lost Artifacts or Greygast, which a good number of our group here have items straight out of their pages. Then we have Nightshade Creations, make all sort of tabletop RPG accessories for your home games. With that being said, we will jump headfirst into last week. As our group had,
That was awful.
well, I should say, as Melik had found himself awoken by a rock being thrown to his tent to a apparently somewhat stoned dragonbait wandering away, and Devonay being turned into a Almirage, a bunnycorn. After some tense combat with, for a short while, an unseen assailant, they managed to find out it was in fact Zandala who was slinging spells from the shadows. They managed to defeat their quarry, and thanks to a somewhat key casting of suggestion, figure out why before Zandala was put out of the group's misery. Some short conversation with the group later, and it seems it was decided the group would head westward towards a mark that the merchant prince had placed on their map, stating that they could find a shield guardian there that he had offered to reward the group, and specifically Quen, who had met with this merchant prince Wakanga, a spell book which had a large number of spells in it, one of which is a much stronger spell than anything Quen had seen so far, but definitely whetted the appetite. The group is now meandering that direction, and as they are still burning through some of their beans from Solana's treasure from the win at her dinosaur
I
racing,
wish I had a dragon.
both Quen and Melik ended up with 9-foot-tall animate statues screaming curses about the vile behaviors of the two of them. You know, it's prime father stabbing. Actually, most of you are probably too young to know Arlo Guthrie's references, so I won't go there. But hanging out on the Group W bench for those of you who are my age or a little older. So as they meandered a little ways away, as they found trying to make camp right next to, I think Quen found it a little disconcerting. Melik was just blushing as this thing was rattling off Melik's greatest hits. Our group has continued moving towards the west, ever closer towards the rough location of this shield guardian.
You forgot we got even with plants.
Oh, that's true as well. Is the group decided to move rather than pack everything back in the canoe, get back in the water, row for a while, and get back out. They just sort of marched away with the canoe, and yeah, they ran into some man traps, and as some of the party just sort of vanished in this, trying to be digested by plants. Didn't take much for the group to deal with them, but was a little bit of little gross for the group. With that being said, just to recap one last point, just want to make sure that we have everything for you. I think there was one last thing I had to mention on our whatchamacallit, our little trip to the Shield Guardian. is was mentioned that when you guys needed the control matrix, which should be right near there as well, from the Merchant Prince. So you guys know you have a little bit of work once you get over there. And as you have noticed, our layout has changed out a little bit for tonight's stream. We're actually working on getting it more in line with our Friday night stream. But as you can see, thank you very much to Ms. Producer Sarah, who plays Solana. And she is taking a big step up and helping out here where my computer won't do it currently. So she's going to be producing for us for a bit. And with that, they say the story and the day are yours. Is you guys have traveled through, dealt with your man-eating plants.
Did we rest after that? 'Cause
Yeah, it's at this point you guys have made camp throughout the evening.
okay.
The next morning is rolling. The next morning is starting to come to. Sun's coming up. Weather's same sort of hazy, slight misty rain that comes through occasionally. It's run of the mill for what you're used to.
Cool. So, okay, we're by the River Twinkie, and we're still headed towards that red X. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to do a survival check then, as we head onwards.
Alrighty then.
Can I use Quinn's advantage, even though Quinn isn't technically, well, he is.
Yeah, so well, that's a good point. We think we haven't heard yet from Lennon, but we think Lynn's probably running just a couple minutes behind. So yeah, as Quinn has been working with you the last couple of times to help out using Bookmark to get you advantage on your survival checks, we'll say until Quinn is here and says otherwise, Quinn will give you advantage on those.
Okay. Yeah. Not like that was a fail.
Okay, definitely beautiful roll. You guys sticking with your same sort of standard pace going through, or?
Yeah.
Interface standard seating order. Or what?
Okay, so we got basically it sounds like business as usual for our group as they start heading westward.
Pretty much. I'm gonna
So,
have my monkey go in the trees and look for branches for arrows. That's it.
Oh, okay. So say go ahead and make a
Oh yeah. I guess.
either a survival or investigation for the monkey. And
Whoops.
so while we've got Quinn and Solana are taking care of this navigation part, Melik and Devaney, what would you guys be doing during the day's travel?
Monkey
Well,
has.
Devaney would summon a Volta and get him to scout around. And she will also muse to herself that if they switched seats, I think we spent so long in the canoe, we probably would be uncomfortable because I think our butt imprints would be imprinted on the bottom of this wooden canoe.
Yeah.
But yeah, a Volta will be scouting around.
When you say muse, do you mean just telling yourself that joke in your own head and kind of like laughing?
Just sort
out
of
of
pondering
nowhere?
the fact.
Devaney's
I like that.
cackling like a mad woman to herself, and we have no idea why.
Just out of
A
nowhere.
little chuckle.
I guess Melik would be trying to ask Quinn a little bit more about his experience with whoever it is, the person that is sending us on this particular quest. But
Yeah.
as Quinn is being oddly quiet at the moment, Melik will hold off on questioning. Otherwise, I guess just kind of checking the Shawm out. I don't know. It's a new instrument, and he's fascinated.
Why don't you play that for us?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, it's, well, it definitely seems to be gaining some skill with this thing. So is
You're gonna love it.
you guys are starting to continue along down the canoe. You've got Davy Jones off in the trees looking for different sticks and branches for you. It seems to be doing decent enough. You sort of catch odd glimpses here and there. Devaney, if you can do me a favor, make a perception check for Avalta for me. As you said, you're sending Avalta out to scout as well. Okay.
Hey, we
So
got
as
nothing.
you guys are sort of traveling along, it seems to be going for pretty good for a good couple of hours. As you start to take a slight turn a little bit southwards, and the trees start to get a little bit thicker in this area. The canopy gets a little denser. It's a little darker here. Still seems calm. You're still getting bits of light coming through, but you notice that everything feels a little closer. Continue through for about another half an hour or so. And do me a favor, I want everyone to go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So as you guys are moving around, all of a sudden, Melik and Devaney, and welcome, Quinn. I had seen you jump into chat. I hadn't seen you jumped into Roll20 yet.
I'm here.
So it's Melik and Devaney. You actually notice it first, but Solana and Quinn, you both notice it right afterwards. Landing almost dead center in the canoe, you get a couple of multi-legged insects
No.
land in the sea. And as you watch as these 2 or 3 centipedes start to
Ew.
crawl, and you proceed to look up as what appears to be almost a deluge, a rain of centipedes just pours into the canoe on top of you.
Ew, no!
I need all of you to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Oh man.
Before you do that, though, give me a second so I can drag your tokens onto the sheet here. As given this, or onto the map, I should say. Forgive me, I don't know how large you... Oh, wow, you guys are tiny. You're out in the ocean.
Oh,
So
I
give
see
me a
it.
second. Yeah, I'm gonna...
You're tiny out in the ocean, yeah.
Yeah. So your tokens are all over here for purposes of this.
Okay, I think
Because I don't have a battle map set up for this, as y'all are just in the canoe anyway.
I'm just like so. I was so excited to play D&D with you guys tonight. This is the worst thing.
This is great.
Trust me, yeah, no, we'll leave it at that. We'll just have them all move at the same time. I don't want to drag that many tokens over there. Okay.
Wait, so we're that small and the swarm of insects gets like 0.20, like, not point, like 25 points font, and we're like little guys in the ocean.
Yeah, so basically you guys are in the canoe, and these things, because they don't take up space, it's literally you're just going under, and it's just...
Okay.
So
Okay.
you guys are in the canoe, they're on top of you. For mechanically speaking, we'll assume regular attacks, unless you are horrendously off aim, and I mean crit fail. Stephanie is completely safe
Okay.
for regular attacks.
What does that mean? Like,
Don't nuke your canoe.
got it.
You blow up the canoe, you're on your own.
Hold on. I know the canoe.
And with that brings us to Solana at the top of the order, who is just seeing a massive number of that.
Let's see this. Hold on. I am going to... Can I do this? Can I do this? I want to turn into their natural enemy and turn into a giant spider. Am I allowed to do that?
Alrighty then.
Am I allowed to do that?
So yeah, that's druids can be shaped. What CR can you giant shape into? This-
Half. I don't know what
Okay.
that is. You're right. I don't know what a giant.
Well, no,
spider
that's.
is.
I know a giant wolf spider is 1/4.
Okay.
So, give me a second. Let me.
I'm thinking I can restrain some of these if I do it.
Let me. That's useless.
Or can I like? Can I
Make
stay
me
in my
work.
regular shape and form like a canopy of web between two trees, so they're not all pointing down or pouring down on our faces? Like, are there
Well,
two?
at this point, they're in the canoe.
Oh, all of them.
So you could put.
Never mind.
You could web up the canoe.
I might web up the canoe.
That's it. But it's again, that's going to affect all of you as well.
Oh yeah. Ah, thanks for that. Think. I can't like longbow them. Cause
You could, but you're at disadvantage because they're
yeah,
right
exactly.
there.
I can't speak with them because they're insects. I can't light the canoe on fire. This is really hard. Does anyone have any suggestions? No? Okay. If I
Shoot your
call
bow at
lightning,
them.
will it burn the canoe and I'll like char it?
If you what?
If I call lightning, will it char it, the canoe?
Oh, we'll say that would be fine.
Okay. I'm gonna create this huge thing and just in the middle of the canoe, just call this giant thing of lightning.
Okay. I need dex saves for
Oh crap! I
everybody.
forgot.
As a bolt of lightning comes crashing down into the middle of the canoe.
Oh, instead everybody else are doing death saves. Oh my god. I'm a terrible person.
We are all.
Solana, you gotta make one too.
Oh. Wow, I'm a terrible druid. Oh, I failed. Crit
Okay,
failed.
so let's see. Wow. And then Quen, when you moan, I need one from you as well.
Wow. Okay.
And let's see how they do. Fail.
Yeah.
Fail. Fail.
Good. At least, right, guys?
Okay. So,
Hey,
so far we
Quinn
have.
is,
Oh.
Quinn's literally the last one. If they fail, then everyone fails. Like, round the board fail.
Nope. So we're just waiting for Quen to roll that check. In the meantime, though, we'll say Melik, Devaney, and Solana, you all take 19 points of lightning
Yeah,
damage.
I'm really sorry about that, guys. Hey, Quinn, save.
Quen saves. So Quen,
Good job, Quen.
you are going to take 9 points of lightning damage.
Oh, great. 9.
9.
And
I'm so
anything else you're
sorry,
doing? So
guys.
that's
Yes,
that's
my
action.
turn.
You've got.
I'm actually gonna use my bonus action and healing word someone actually. I'm gonna go to Melik and be like, hey buddy, I'm really sorry about that. Here's 6 points.
Melik, you feel a little bit better after Solana.
Oops. Yeah.
That brings us to the couple of swarms of insects we have here. So let's see here, and they actually all failed. So they're going. Okay, so we have 3 attacks coming. Let's see. We're going to roll. Okay, see who's getting attacked here. Okay. Okay. So Solana, we have 2 bites coming at you and
Yep.
1 at Devaney.
Okay.
So first 2 at Solana.
Nope.
Oh, that's a 4.
Nope.
And that's a 9. And then Devaney, That's a 7.
Nope.
So they're just seem to be a little bit discombobulated after that, as you notice easily a good 50% of these things, if not more, have just completely been eradicated out of the boat as a result of that lightning strike that has you all feeling a little on edge as well.
Your hair's a little singed, I'm sorry.
And that'll bring us to Melik, who
Is in the same problem as Solana. I'm trying to find something that I can do that isn't gonna like
AoE.
I mean, these are like centipedes, right? I could totally like minor illusion some moss off the side of the boat. Go get it. They're super yummy.
Then they'd just be hanging out on the side of the boat instead of in the boat.
That's fair. My goodness. Okay. Well, you know what? No, I'm gonna role play this because I don't know. Melik is going to take out his really bad dagger, but it's the only thing he can think of right now, and just stab something.
Okay, so go ahead and make a roll. And that'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll some damage. Alrighty then. So is
and then I'll...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say a bonus action. But go ahead.
And so now you take your dagger out and just sort of swipe down at them, down on the seats and in between. You manage to get another couple of them out of there. There's still a few left in the base, though.
I'm just screaming like crazy, which will somehow translate into a healing word. And I'll give that to, I guess,
I'm fine.
Gwen,
I don't
since he's
need
probably right next to me.
I'm okay, kinda.
Okay.
Give it to Quinn. He's right next to me.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so Quen heals back up. Quen had only taken 9 damage, so Quen, you're back up at full health.
I forgot about it, but yeah, I did it.
Thanks, Melik.
And with that, that'll bring us over to Quen, who is the same situation.
So, I can cast Compulsion with Bookmark. So I'd like to cast Compulsion and then tell the swarm to go away.
Okay, let's
Good.
see here. Just taking a look.
Do they need to understand language for that?
That's what I'm looking right
Can
now.
the camera see my modification to Stephanie? Can you see that we should have a little, like, tarp now for people?
So as Quen, as you take it out and you start using the dagger and feeling the magic reach out to the swarm, you notice they don't seem to be reacting in any way to the magic.
I'm very sad by that. Okay.
Okay, so that's action. You've got a movement and bonus action. Again, movement is really only jump out of the canoe if you want to, but
And get throat leeches.
How far away is the bank?
probably about 10, maybe 15 feet.
I misty step to the bank.
Okay. So as you guys are watching, as you see Quen doing something with Bookmark for a couple of seconds, and then after nothing happens, in a shimmer of silvery mist, Quen vanishes and appears on the bank to the side.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
Fine. Fine.
It appears you get no response from Quen.
God.
That'll bring us over to Devonay then.
Well, Devaney will sort of roll her eyes at the bugs because they're bugs, and just start swiping at them and trying to stab them and just make them go away.
Okay. Go ahead and start swiping.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, first one definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay. And go ahead with your next one. And that one will actually miss. And third one will hit. So go ahead and roll damage on that. Okay, so as you guys watch, as Devaney is just swiping down at the remnants of what's left in the canoe of these centipedes, you notice she manages to clear out probably a good 80% of what's left. At this point, you've only got a very small pile writhing down at the bottom. Anything else you'd be doing, Devaney?
No. Just lean back and wait till they come closer so I can reach at them again.
Okay, so that'll bring us back over to Solana.
Learning from her mistake, she's gonna use her quarterstaff and take a swipe.
Okay, go ahead and take a swipe. That'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage. And Solana, how would you like to do this, dealing with the last of the centipedes?
Trying not to scream in panic and horror and what's the word for when you're really grossed out?
Repulsion?
Repulsion. Good word, Matthew. Okay. She just like hits them like a golf club off the side of the boat. And then it proposes that we get like a kind of like a tent for Stephanie, so people on the inside don't have to like worry about falling stuff, but the person on the outside can like still steer.
Is this while you're swiping the bugs? Because that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
We need a cover!
We need to put a tent on Stephanie.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Okay, we'll do that.
Noticing the problems that, both Solana and Melik had, Devaney will dig out her extra short sword and offer it to Melik. It seems like you could use this.
The scimitar?
It's a short sword.
The short sword. You might have to teach me how to use it, since I couldn't even tell which one it was. Yeah.
The short sword's the ones that's not curved.
Oh. Things you'll learn. Yeah, if you don't mind, no, I'll take it. Yeah.
I mean, I only have 2 hands. I don't need 3. So
No, that's fair. Thank you. I'm a little rattled. Thank you. Thank you.
no problem.
So, Quen, as the canoe continues right along, are you misty stepping back into the canoe?
Oh, can the party swing around and just
No.
swoop me up? Please, I can't misty step.
Then climb back in.
We'll just swing it around.
No.
It's not like traffic.
Yeah,
Well,
but
not
it's a
so,
big
or not,
canoe,
we'll stop, but
and we're on a small tributary. Get back in the canoe.
Why?
What about the floaty disc?
Either jump into the canoe or swim to the canoe.
Why are you being so hard on me right now? What did I do to you?
You ran away from battle.
I didn't run away. I'm 10 feet away.
You 10-footed away from battle.
Well, maybe you can find another wizard to come with you on your quest.
Good luck
See
finding
you
a
later.
party that'll pick you up. on the River Cherokee, where we are right now.
I'll just die out here.
Oh my gosh, y'all. It's fine. Let's just go pick him up and get out of
He
here. I
won't
don't want any
learn
more
his lesson.
bugs in
He's
the
like
boat.
13. He's never gonna learn.
We'll do the lesson later. Let's just get out of here.
Thanks for coming to get me. Gwen steps onto the boat and then sits down.
As the party continues along their travels. So where Quen, where you weren't here, you've been helping Solana navigate with Bookmark as you had been the last couple of days. Is there, Melik, you said there were things you wanted to ask Quen earlier.
Dave, can you do your camera?
Yeah, I'll refresh. Basically, I will ask Quinn some stuff about that, but right now, I think Melik is still a little rattled. Probably will happen once we get to camp.
Okay. You guys travel through the remainder of the day. No real other issues that you guys notice. Seems to be that little darker section you ended up in. Over the next few hours, you notice the trees start to open up a little bit back to more what you're used to.
That was a gross section of the forest.
You see the occasional, couple of webs, vines hanging down, and off in the distance you can hear the heavy footfalls of something in the jungle, but nothing sounding like it's overly in your immediate area.
Okay.
About 2.5, 3 hours after you sent Davy Jones out, manages to return back to you, shows up with 9 different sticks and branches of different lengths.
Cool. I give him a pat on the head and some treats.
Davy Jones gives you a little monkey noise. And, you guys continue through the remainder of the day. You don't seem to run into any additional problems.
Cool.
You guys find you're most of the way back over. You feel like you're getting fairly close to the river Shoshan Star on your map where you guys had traveled down your initial foray into the jungles.
Hey, that looks so familiar. Maybe we can stop at Camp Righteous again. And have fun. Or Camp Vengeance, where they all love us. Well, they love me.
Oh boy, that was a long time ago.
They love me in Camp Vengeance because I love their goats.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, they're sick goats. But that's about it.
Yeah, and then as you're saying that, Solana, you sort of get a minor flashback of being accused of treason for refusing to ferry people back up to Port Nyanzaru for them.
Yeah, we should have just done that probably, because now we're like looking for a robot? Steampunk robot or something? I don't know. It's ridiculous. We should just ferried those people up. The point is, we're getting close to Shoshan Star. That's exciting.
I love the memories.
You guys start setting up camp for the evening. Anything anyone would be doing as your evening meals and setting up camp?
Nope.
Tending to some singed hair, but other than that, not much.
Sorry. Those ends were getting kind of frizzy anyway. You should just cut those off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I will ask Quinn. What is the thing that we're looking for again that we're bringing to Wakanga? Is his name? I remembered that.
The thing that we're looking for is a golem, which is a magically controlled human made out of stone or metal or wood.
Okay. Okay. Did he say anything about like who's controlling it, or like, I mean, is there going to be like a resistance aspect to this, or is it just going to be like a cool puppet that just kind of comes with us?
Well, I'm sure we'll find out when we get there.
All right, so he didn't give you any information. That's great. Okay.
Did we get a-
Well, he said that he wanted its control matrix. So the thing that I got the impression that maybe it's just lost in the wood, in the jungle somewhere, with its remote control somewhere nearby, and then we just get it and then walk it to Nyanzaru, and then I get a big juicy spell book.
Do any of the rest of us get anything?
You all will get the gift of me. More powerful than ever before! Quinn jumps around and starts whooshing around with his cape flapping around everywhere.
So, is anyone going to bring up that Quinn ran away from the bugs? I know I stood up for him a little while ago, but...
Quinn, how
Hey,
did
I
you-
tried to get them to go away. I don't want to get eaten by bugs.
Quinn,
Well,
how did-
Devaney's definitely thinking it, but she's not going to say anything.
I'm gonna say something. Quinn, you ran away from a bunch of bugs. How are you gonna get a golem to follow you?
And you fried everyone with a lightning bolt. So...
Yeah, fireball.
So...
that fireball was on frogs and not us.
Look, hey, we're not here bringing up the past. We're here to eat dinner. Solana, this looks delicious. I'm so thankful you made it. I'm so glad that we're here. I'm so glad I'm with you in this jungle.
Make a persuasion check on me.
Nice save. Make a persuasion check.
What, Matthew?
No, wonderful. So if you're asking for Quinn to roll persuasion insight,
Yeah, I want a persuasion check.
okay, Quinn, go ahead and make a persuasion check. Let's see if Solana's picking up what you're putting down.
Very high numbers.
So it's Quinn. How much do you mean what you're saying? Because it looks like Solana might be a little skeptical.
Look, you can be skeptical as long as the day is up.
Was that even a sentence?
I think it accounts for the persuasion roll.
Yeah, duh.
Solana walks away and rubs her head and is looking for like some natural remedy for a headache.
Okay, go ahead and make a survival or a nature check, whichever you prefer.
Let's do survival. Oh man.
Okay, so while Solana's off in the wilderness, just sort of taken off into the wilderness, what would the rest of you be doing?
Well, Solana got... I guess Melik's good for now. I mean, I was thinking about like trying to make some more crossbow bolts, but I have to go look for sticks. I don't know if Solana's gone.
No, I probably just left the
So.
sticks behind so you can make stuff if you want.
You mind if I just whittle?
I don't care.
Okay, I'm gonna whittle.
So Solana's wandered off. Malik's taken some of the sticks that Davy Jones brought in. Devaney, what would you be doing?
I would probably just be sitting somewhere in camp and talking to Volta.
Okay. And Quen, after that somewhat tense dinner conversation, what would Quen be doing?
Well, since I guess it's the Everyone Hates Quen episode.
It's not. I was trying to kind of stick up for you.
No, I appreciate it. Quen's just gonna, like, walk around the camp and like talk to Chi-Chi and just like kick the dirt and just mutter to himself and just be like big stupid heads. I don't know what they want from me. I do everything for them and they just be mean to me and I just do my best.
If Solana was there, she would demand a performance check, but she's not.
Sick burn.
Solana seems to be a little salty this evening.
Yeah, Solana, something wrong? Something happened earlier? You want to talk about it?
About 45 minutes after Solana's wandered off, you managed to find a couple of herbs and berries you think that if you were to mix it, maybe might do something for the headache.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
Might put you in a coma.
I don't care at this point.
So as you come back, and you can see basically everyone's sort of off on their own at the moment. Even Dragonbait, because I completely forgot about him during the centipede incident.
Oh yeah, me too. That's fine.
Is just sitting off on his own. You can see him just cleaning his sword.
Do you want me to make a herbalism check to see if I fall in a coma, or are we cool?
Well, let me do that in a moment. First,
Oh no.
how are we handling watches this evening?
Oh, Devonay wants last.
I'll take second.
I'll take first.
And I'll take third.
Okay, so go ahead and perception checks, Maria. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, nice rolls. And then, Slide, go ahead and go ahead and make that herbalism check. Don't forget you've got your herbalism kit. Okay.
There we go.
Then Devonay. Okay. So let's see here.
Malik,
Where
how
is
many
my-
sticks did you use?
How many sticks did you have?
9.
Probably 9.
Okay.
Okay, so as you guys start setting up and taking watch for the evening, Solana, as you had gone out and again, a little irritable, upset with the whole conversation, just your head hurting, you actually managed to pick up a. Do me a favor, roll 3d8 for me. Gonna see what we come up with here for you is your
Oop.
potential. Okay, no, not a problem. Just give me 2 more.
Oh no.
Okay. Let's see. And then. Okay. So as you've gone through and you've mixed in a couple of different things, you managed to find a strange root you didn't recognize, but seemed like it might have some medicinal properties to it. You found a couple of mushrooms and a different type of root that little tougher. I just thought if you tried to extract some of the juice, you make almost like a slurry or like a very sort of thick. Think of it like a very pulpy orange juice sort of
Like ginger
concoction. Yeah, almost. Yeah, something that it's a liquid, but it's very fiber heavy.
Okay.
You drink that down. Go ahead and roll 2d4 for me. So for the next 2 hours, you have 3 temporary hit points.
Yay!
Your head is feeling a little better.
Mhm.
Your stomach does feel a little queasy, though. You're also technically poisoned for the next minute, so you have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
But as you're walking around, your head's feeling a little clearer. You've got a little pep in your step. You don't overly mind the stomach pain you're going through.
Okay.
But as for the watches for everyone, your watch goes through, and a couple of hours passes. The night seems perfectly calm. Same thing for all of you. Quen, you don't notice much. It seems like the evening's discussion and the lack of closure with the group may be weighing on you a little bit. Or it may not be. You may just not care and not overly be paying attention. But it definitely seems you're a little off this evening in terms of your watch. But again, you don't notice anything going on.
Oh yeah, Quinn's very in his head right now.
Devaney, as you go through your evening's watch, and again, as is typical with the fourth watch, as you start to watch as you start to look for the sun to be creeping through the canopy from the east, and you start hearing again the sounds of thunder and rain starting to move in. And once more, as morning comes and your fellow traveling companions start to wake up. That is very lackluster on my storm. Where is my... Oh, let's try this one. Why are my storms not playing? Hey, there we go.
See, now like if
So-
we built Stephanie with a tarp, you could stay dry too.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. So, what do we need to do that?
A tarp and some wood. And Gizzard, he was the one with proficiency in wood tools. Do I even have wood tools? I do have wood carvers.
So, yeah, somebody got...
Yeah, that's what I used for the whittling.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So okay. I guess next time we kill something, we can skin it.
Ah yes. You've got...
Because I've got
Leather
Gizzard's
working?
leather tools.
Yeah, awesome. I high five him.
So as you guys start getting breakfast and everything else together to prepare for the day's journey, the day is once more yours. What's the group doing?
I don't know. I'm gonna defer to I'm gonna ask Quen and be like, Quen, I'm sorry I took things a little emotional yesterday. Doing much better. Will you help me? Will you help guide us to wherever this thing is?
Quinn will say, yeah, thanks, Solana. Sorry I was a brat. I just got really flustered with the bugs.
It's okay. I'm sorry I took it out on you. I forgot that. I forgot. So, let's do this together and make our way towards this golem thing.
Quinn will pull out Bookmark and place it flat on his palm, and will have it spin towards north.
Okay. So go ahead and Solana, I'm going to have you make 2 survival checks, both with advantage. Okay, beautiful. So as you guys continue to sorry, DM moment there. As you guys continue to travel forward back into the canoe, your day seems to pass without much of an incident. As you continue going through, is there anything while Solana and Quen are taking care of their navigation, is there anything the group would be doing?
I guess, okay, so I've got the tarp on the mind now. So I guess I'll ask Devonay for her opinion, since she's the one that's free, and maybe, I don't know, Dragonbait could chime in if he's got a smell or not, I guess. And, like, do we need, if I wanted to build, like, supports on this boat, would we need, like, thicker pieces of wood, or like can I ask one of our animal pals to like go fetch some more sticks? Like, do we need a bendy kind of wood?
Well, in general, I think a tarp is a bad idea because then we can't see the sky. And things tend to attack from the skies. And if we had a tarp, if we came across something like the T-Rex again, that's taller than us, we would have trouble aiming and maybe seeing, where its head is. But I think if you really want to do it, some sort of bendy material that sort of goes in a loop from one edge and up and over to the other would probably be best. Kind of like bamboo
Bring up a
or
good
something.
point though, because yeah, the bug things stank, but they weren't that bad, I guess, to fight off. So I don't know if it's what if we used like a little bit of it to make like not like half a tarp cover, but like at least like a little dry area in the back.
Yeah, and I just thought of another thing. I know we've avoided a lot of things by being small and all like crouching down, and having a big tarp over top would make us more visible to things we're trying to avoid.
Me too.
Unless it's camouflage.
Yeah, I think.
Well, in the larger streams, it's kind of hard to camouflage a boat on water.
Then it wouldn't matter if we had a tarp or not.
But if you want like a dry area, something for the back is, or the front or the middle or whatever.
Ooh, the middle. I didn't even think of that. Put it in the middle, like a couple, like the two seats in the middle. Then we could fan out on either side if the danger happens.
I could. I just want to make a leather parasol at this point to stick in the middle of the boat.
Yeah, that would work actually great.
Removable, movable, and shady. I like it. Okay, I think that's what we'll do. So if I can borrow one of your animal companions to find some thinner sticks that I can use for the umbrella shape, then I'll go find something sturdier for the main whole section.
I think Davy Jones is the only one capable of doing that, and we'll also take care of it.
Well, yeah, it'd be more difficult for a Volta to do so, and I mean, you could, but I don't think you'd be as successful.
Okay, Davy Jones!
Back to roleplay Davy
Sticks.
Jones.
Amazing! Would you fetch me some thinner but sturdy sticks, please? That have like a little bit of bend to it. That'd be perfect.
I think I should translate that, right?
So as you go through and you're speaking with your pet flying monkey, he seems to get you're pretty confident he has a pretty solid grasp of what you guys are looking for. So go ahead and make a survival check for Mr. Davy Jones.
23. And that's wisdom, right? That's what I used last.
Yep.
Davy Jones.
Oh. Davy Jones is gone for about an hour as you guys are traveling, and you see occasionally the flit of him. He's down on the bank, 10 feet off to your right in front of you. Then he's, 20 feet up in the air, up in a branch. After an hour of watching this flying monkey sort of flitting in between different spots on the bank, he comes back with a decent selection of what appear to be fairly newly broken tree branches. They're still fairly green on the inside. They have a good little bit of bend to them. They haven't been they're not like kindling or something used for firewood on the that you find on the ground.
I gave Davy Jones lots of Lots of bananas. So many bananas that I assume that we have somewhere in our storage of food.
For Davy Jones, it's we've got bananas.
Okay.
Just for him.
Yeah, just for him.
Just for Davy Jones.
So as Solana and Quen are taking the group ever forward, you guys travel through the day with no issues other than the weather. As you guys come to rest at the end of the night, start setting up camp and start examining your rain catchers, as one is prone to put them out due to the heavy rains. You find that as much as it felt like it was raining heavy, you only got a couple of gallons of water out of it. So while it did give you another day or two's worth of water, you're really not up to the supplies that you're used to getting from storms that feel as heavy as this.
Okay, so I might
Anything
need
in-
to boil river water.
So to who?
I might need to boil river water soon.
You've got enough for another couple of days, so it really depends on the weather.
Okay.
If the weather stays with the storm, you know, you can keep building up supplies back in the rain catchers.
Right.
But it's been a good, better part of a week since you had a real rainstorm that you've had to deal with. So you guys were starting to run a little low. You guys set up camp, start making a somewhat wet dinner. How would you guys be handling watches for the evening?
First.
Second.
Last.
Okay, Quentin, you taking third, or you want me to give it to Dragonbait?
Quinn will take third.
Okay, so go ahead and... Wow. Malik, you were just flipping the scales today.
I know. It.
You know, there are numbers in between there. Okay. So as guys go through camp this evening, anything you guys would be doing? Malik, would you be working on your canopy portion, or would you be out looking for like the, I guess I'll call it the pole, the business end of your...
I know, right?
the business end of your parasol?
Ooh, took it there. Yeah, I'll take a peek around for the main shaft, and then I guess I'll start. My next thing would be to start whittling them down so they kind of taper, and then end at like a stump, I guess. Does that make sense? You know how umbrellas look, where they have like
Yep.
the stopping point at the end. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So go ahead and make a survival check for me, or nature, whichever you prefer. Okay. So it takes you the better part of in between after you guys have eaten. You managed to find one pretty good size, almost like a sapling that you managed to just cut down and take some of the smaller branches up near the top off to form the base of your umbrella once you actually start getting working on the whittling portion of it.
I forgot I'm a druid. I can make plants grow. And that was easier. Sorry.
It's been a long couple of days for everyone.
On a blind
Hey.
mission, apparently, to make a parasol.
And so as the rest of you continue through your watches, Devonay, Quenslan, anything you guys would be working on during your watch, or anything in specific you'd want to take care of this evening?
No. David Jones doesn't have any tricks for me. They're all for Malik.
No, just basic watch stuff for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just hang out.
Okay. So as the evening passes through, for most of you, the watch doesn't... Nothing really happens. Devonay, as you're noticing, or actually I'll say, go ahead for Solana, Melik, and Quen. All three of you make perception checks for me. Okay. That's nothing. So, Quen, you're the only one who notices this. As the morning is just starting to kick over, and well, I shouldn't say you're the only one. Definitely, you're fully aware of this because it's your watch. The rest of the group doesn't notice until they're fully awake. Lennon, you sit up with a slight start as both you and Devaney have noticed the storm is really starting to pick up.
Yikes on bikes.
It's Devaney, you're watching. The wind is picking up. It's heavier now. The rain is beating down on the tents. For those of you who have left your rain catchers out, which is probably all of you given it was still raining when you went to sleep, your rain catchers at this point, and it's only been a few hours, are almost half full. The door, I'll call it the door on the tent, that front flap is waving hysterically in the wind. Water's coming in the front of the tents to you. This is what wakes you, Quen. Devaney, you're doing your normal watch routines with Avalta close by your side, as flight for Avalta is extremely difficult in this weather with the way it's with the way the morning is starting out for you guys.
And Devaney will say to Avalta, "Stop complaining. If you want to leave, just ask." And so I'll snap my fingers and temporarily dismiss Avalta. Finally, peace and quiet. Okay. So then I'll go and I'll just stick my head into people's tents and suggest maybe we should just stay here for the day until it stops raining so hard.
Quen agrees wholeheartedly and then falls back asleep.
What about that? Yeah.
In terms of call lightning?
Yeah, do I get control of the storm? Can I just be like, don't come near this area?
Huh.
It says I get control over these systems.
Let's see here.
Would it move with us?
Give me a second.
Does
Oh
we-
yeah, would it
That
storm
one.
follow right overhead? Because it's a 120-foot radius within. Let's see here. 10 feet tall. 60-foot radius. Yeah, that's 100 feet directly above you.
But I mean, like, as far as us being having to huddle down in the middle of the storm, like,
Yeah.
I would say, hey guys, let's huddle down, but it wouldn't be stressed.
Yeah, it's so the way it's worded, it says it increases the power of your spell.
Yeah.
So I would take that to mean you're increasing the strength of the storm.
Oh, okay, never
So
mind.
quite the opposite. You're not going to weaken it. If anything, you're going to make it storm worse.
Okay.
Which, great if it's like this and you're fighting a T-Rex. That's extra damage, but
Okay,
trying to walk, not so much.
gotcha. Just wanted to know. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Yeah, this storm sucks, guys.
I mean, this is gonna give me. I'm just excited to get to my whittling project. Like, I just feel like someone comes and gives me that suggestion, but Melik is in his tent, just like in a pile of wood, and is like, fine, great.
Okay, so then Devaney will also go back to her tent and just wait out the storm and perhaps just dry off a bit.
Okay. So Malik is in. So basically, you all are just retreating back to your tents.
Yeah, I don't want to get wet.
Yeah,
I can
see
make
how
some
long the storm
plans
lasts.
bigger, so you won't get as wet. I'm trying here, guys. No?
Just gonna all have a me day, I think.
Yeah, we've been boating a lot lately.
Okay.
You should plant a
Grocery
bean.
plans?
Ooh,
Well-
we could always plant a bean.
Maybe when it's not raining outside.
Please give me a second to start my project really quick, and then we can all plant a bean together.
Oh, let's all plant a bean.
I think we should plant a bean one at a time, not every second. Is that what you meant?
No, I meant we all get together and we're all prepared for whatever might come out of the bean hole, and then one person plants a bean.
Okay. You have
What
5
happened?
left.
But not when it's raining.
Right.
Because it's raining really hard outside and we might not be able to see what comes out of there.
Also a great point.
Okay.
But yes.
Come on, live life dangerously. Plant a bean in the storm.
Yes, we've got.
I'm having fun here. I'm bored.
Well, and Devonay looks, well, she looks like she doesn't want to, she shouldn't say something, but she says it anyway and says, or bugs in a canoe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I go back to my tent.
So as you guys all head back to your various different tents, so Melik, I know you said you want to start a new project. So which part are you working on first?
I am going to start whittling of the small branches.
Okay, so go ahead and make a woodworking roll. Assuming where you're working on this project, I'm assuming Solana would have given you the kit for this.
Mela, do you need my help or you got it?
I got it.
Okay.
I don't have
yeah.
a
You got
Proficiency
it.
in it, but roll dex.
Yeah. I made a deck.
Oh wow. So you spend a good couple of hours during the morning, Melik, and you go through the different branches that Davy Jones brought along, and you manage to get yourself 8 pretty solid-looking, guess we'll call it, cuts in the pizza. Yeah, bones, however you want to phrase it, for the canopy of your parasol umbrella.
I'm just finding a real love in whittling. Like, maybe I have a new hobby.
As
I don't know. I'm just so crafty all of a sudden.
You know what I was thinking? Can we hear each other? We're next to each other in our tent.
given how close your tents are, you'd have to shout a little bit given how bad the storm is outside.
Have you thought
But
about
it's-
using beans instead of us finding animal help temporarily?
No.
Okay.
Should I?
Maybe just temporarily we could use beans before we find an animal help.
It's just reminding me of the very first season of Project Runner where that dude made a dress out of corn cob shucks, and I'm very into it.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna give you the responsibility of finding the good plants for that.
Okay. Not right now. This is really stormy out.
I assumed.
Okay.
So as again, a little more time goes on. Quen, I know you said you had gone back to sleep in the morning. What would you be doing with the day that you guys are spending here?
What can we be doing? Where's that alchemy job?
I think you have it.
I'm not sure who is the bag. Definitely, do
don't.
you still have that, or would that be in the bag? I can't remember.
It never got put in the bag, and currently it's listed under my inventory, but I'm not sure exactly where it's at the moment.
So
Well,
it's
after
up to
hours
where
and
we're-
hours of searching, Gwen looks for the alchemy drug. And then wants hot cocoa and invites all his friends over to enjoy a mug of hot cocoa.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It does sound nice. I will-
And then we all have a delicious, wonderful time.
Can we do s'mores if I just put like a flame in my hand and crispy that stuff? Like George Crab's a flame in my hand. Like making roast marshmallows.
Does anyone have marshmallows?
I think it's understandable to believe we might have bananas, but I don't know about marshmallows or graham
Marshmallow is a
crackers.
root, and then you add
We can
your
try and make some if we have bones.
Yes, that's true. And marshmallow root.
We don't have bones.
I will go out and look for marshmallow root tomorrow.
A marshmallow tree.
So as you guys are all sort of huddled together in Quen's tent, you start hearing noise. The storm seems to be picking up. You're hearing lightning, thunder. It seems to be getting stronger.
Looking good.
Anybody know any
As,
ghost stories?
Go ahead, and I want everyone to go ahead and make a perception check for me. Okay. So as you guys are sitting around enjoying your hot cocoa all in Quen's tent, Melik, Solana, actually all of you start to hear a very heavy footfall coming into your immediate vicinity.
Human or animal?
Let me see here. With your check, it's, you can tell it's two-legged creatures, but it's a very heavy footfall. You don't believe it's human.
Okay.
You can hear it. It's getting closer.
Maybe somebody should peek their head out and see what they can see.
I'll peek my head
But
out.
try not to get seen.
Try not to see good people.
Okay. So go ahead and if you're, we'll run with your same perception check because this is all going on at this pretty much the same moment. Go ahead and make a stealth check as you're trying to stick your head out and not be seen. Okay. So as you poke your head out, you see a massive gray-skinned creature standing about 10 feet tall. Heavy, muscular upper body, chest, and arms. But as you're looking at it a little closer, you see the stomach has been ripped open. It doesn't seem to notice. It's just dragging behind it a large, what appears to be a club with a metal head on the end of it, covered in spikes. As it moves over and you watch as it goes to the first tent
Oh crap, guys.
and swipes open the tent, and you see it sort of bend over and look in. wipe back and
Go on back again.
turns for the second.
What, Solana?
Do these tents have backs? No.
Define back, you mean like
Like
two
back-
doors, one on either
Yeah,
side?
back flat.
Roll a d20. Odd it does, even it doesn't. Yes, it does.
Go! Be stealthy. Yes, I cast it. I'm so freaking out right now. I don't know what this is. I cast Leather Trace, and I tell everyone to go. Be stealthy and get out of the camp. Now.
Oh,
Where are we going, Solana? What is it?
There's this huge zombie giant outside the club that's looking through our tent.
Are we fighting them?
I don't know, but we should leave because he keeps looking into tents.
Are we sticking together?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Alright, so then let's go.
Okay, so anyone who's trying to stealth away, go ahead and roll stealth.
And get fucked. Good. One. Yeah, Malik.
Wow.
Guess I'm not leaving behind that alchemy jug full of hot chocolate.
Okay, so there. Okay. So as the group of you start taking off out of the back flap out of Quen's tent, and Solana, you sort of taking lead because you saw where this thing was in relation and pointing out is you guys start running out the back of the tent. You may get about 20 or 30 feet out. What's the marching order that would be short of how would you guys be leaving? Oh, actually, give me a second, because I just forgot. If you guys aren't leaving Dragonbait there, he needs to see
Oh yeah.
how.
don't leave him there.
I'm
Yes.
going to try and be in the middle of the marching order.
I would
Oh,
be in
okay.
the front or in the back. I'm not really sure.
Okay, well, it's up to you guys. So Solana can be first one out, pointing things out, or you can be last one, trying to keep an eye on the guy you saw.
To me, just ergonomically, if that's even the right word, it makes more sense for her to be last since she was at the front tent,
Okay.
or the front of the
Yeah, I'll
tent.
be last.
Okay,
Wow.
because then Melik is definitely first. He's scurrying out.
Alright, and Devaney will be second last because she was just talking to Solana.
Okay, so we've got Melik taking point, followed by Quen. We have Solana at the back, Devaney next. Where would Dragonbait be? Would Dragonbait be between Melik and Quen?
Yeah, in the middle.
After Quen?
Just dead in the middle.
Okay.
After Quen.
So we got Melik and Quen going first, Dragonbait in the middle, and Devaney and Solana bringing up the rear. So as you guys start taking off, Melik, you take off, you sort of glance over, and you manage to see that same massive hulking creature just sort of glance over your shoulder as you're moving away. Quen, you take off, you see the same thing. And as you're looking over your left shoulder back towards camp to see this creature, Melik, both you and Quen hear from your right a sickening as one comes stomping through the brush. As it is seeing Quen cutting through. And with that, we'll pause here to take our break, as it is almost 9:30, and our group is now dealing with some very large-skinned gray creatures who have somewhat invaded their camp
Somewhat.
in the middle of a basically hurricane.
Yeah.
Like, if our tents had solid frames, they would be breaking and entering. Now it's just kind of flapping and entering, but it's invaded for sure.
So thank you very much. Those of you who are hanging out with us this evening on Twitch. We will be taking a quick, 5 to 7 minute break, beverages, facilities, whatever people may need. We'll be back shortly to see how our group handles this situation. So thank you very much, Ms. Producer. If you can bring us on over to break, and we will be back soon. back, everyone. Thank you for hanging with us during that brief break, as you can now see what our players are just now coming over to. As our group has started to flee their camp, running out the back of Quen's tent. And as Melek took off first, Quen a couple of steps behind and Dragonbait right behind. And again, Quen and Melek looking over the left to see this massive individual just sort of swiping in, looking in another tent, to hearing an echoing cry come from over their right. And as they turn, they see, and I believe this will show you guys the image. This massive, muscular body, again, with the stomach sort of ripped out from the front of it. The face and flesh cracked open. You can see wounds, small daggers and blades stuck in parts of it. And it's looking currently at the three of you as you're running. Quen, I put Chi-Chi just one square north of you, so I wasn't sure where you would have Chi-Chi necessarily. Likewise, Solana, Davy Jones is showing is in your tent. Right. I know, Devanay, you said you would banish Volta back into the pocket dimension for the time being.
Right.
And as we get to this point, I need to ask you all to go ahead and roll initiative for me. Again. There we go. And there's dragon bait. Come on. Okay. I was trying to get my And as we have this heavy storm going on, we will jump back over here.
I hope Quen rolls above 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Quen, go ahead and when you get them, I'll go ahead and roll some initiative for me.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, wow, yeah. So Quen sees this, and Quen is definitely ready to react here. Just give me a second here. As we are... What am I doing? Okay. And that brings us to Quen. As Quen, you are charging after Melek. You hear the cry. You see the one over your shoulder to your left. Then as you hear this growling cry to your right and turn and look, you see another large creature starting to push its way through the vegetation, coming at you with this large spiked weapon in its hands.
Ugh, yikes. Well, geez. Okay. Calm down, Quen. Think of this storm. Be the...
Okay, and that is a 40-foot radius. So where are you centering this?
Oh god, it's 40 foot. Jeez, I missed that part. That's a huge fucking... That's a huge thing. That's a really big thing. I don't want to cast that. That's really big. I didn't foresee this.
Okay, well, Quen would know that, so if you want to retcon that, that's not a problem.
Okay. I'm just gonna cast Magic Missile at, like, level 3.
Okay. And which one are you hitting? The one that's looking right at you, or the one that's currently back at the tents?
The one that's closest to me.
Okay. Okay, so that'll definitely hit as this thing gets pelted. 19 points, not bad.
And then Quen will run away from that big ugly thing and activate his Spellsinger aura. And that's it.
Okay. And sorry, do you mean on the token, Sarah?
Yeah, like when the ogre zombie came up, it was loading, and it had this loading circle, and now it won't go away.
Oh, okay. The only way you'd have to reconnect, unfortunately.
Okay, it's gonna be there then.
It's a roll. Yeah, it's a roll 20 issue. I was confused. I'm like, wait, why does Dragon Bait have a circle on him?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. Once again, our lovely technical difficulties here at Proficiency bonus. So this brings us over to this ogre that is actually going through the tents. So as it has gone through two of them, it's going to make its way down to this bottom tent. Actually, we'll put him over here for, as he uses his action to sort of poke his head and search through this tent. Doesn't see anything there. And coming along this guy, and Quen, Melik, and Dragonbait notice this as charging out of the brush to the north comes another one of these individuals, charging straight down at Dragonbait, who's going to take a swipe at him. And actually, I believe that'll miss Dragonbait. Yeah, that'll miss. So Dragonbait manages to just sort of get his sword up and knock the blow to the side. And that will bring us to this individual down south, who is going to charge past Melik because did not see Melik. Well, actually, he's going to charge up next to Melik. Did not see Melik due to Melik's stealth roll. And Quen, you get the actually, it's going to use a dash. So Melik, if you want to break stealth, you can take a swipe at this thing as it runs by. It's going to use the dash action to try to chase down and catch up with Quen.
So I can just like hit this thing with whatever I want to?
Well, it's a melee attack, so as it's running by, you can take like a dagger or a sword and take a swipe at it as it's running by you.
You know what? Yeah, why not? At this point, like, shocked by the second one, the third one was icing on the cake. I'm gonna try out this new short sword that Devaney gave me.
Alrighty then, that'll hit. So go ahead and roll some damage. Okay.
Just like a quick, like, gotcha.
So as it's running by, and as it runs past, you watch as the blade sinks in. The head barely cricks, almost like it doesn't even really notice. It knows it hit it knows it's something sort of gouged into it, but you notice its focus right now is it's looking at Quen. That's gonna.
Well, I know that I hit it, so that's fine. I feel big.
And that'll bring us to Dragonbait, who, being swung up by this one, is going to take two swipes with his sword at it.
Wow, yeah.
Okay. I really got to kill him off. 17 and 12 is 29. And then the second attack hits. And you notice that, Malik, you specifically seeing this as the others are still technically in the tent and haven't had a chance to get out yet. This thing does not like dragon bait at all at this point.
Way to
It
go!
is
That's
definitely
amazing.
looking like dragon bait put a decent mauling on this thing. And that'll bring us over to Solana.
Okay.
What'd you say, Solana?
Sorry, I could still do
Hey!
call lightning on this fellow, right? Because we're not within 5 feet of him.
Yeah, technically.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll.
Nine.
Okay.
I killed us for more than that.
So it's now roll one additional d10
Oh yeah.
because you have the existing storm.
Damn.
So you mauled it for the same amount you mauled yourself for. As you have taken a chunk out of this creature as well, and now
And then
as the lightning bolt comes down, the head looks up and comes back down and sort of starts craning around, and it looks and sees you reaching out from the front of the tent to call down that bolt at
I'm
it.
gonna run away. Run.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question.
Okay, and that'll bring us over to Devonay then. Devonay, you just watched Solana take off like a bat out of hell out of the tent.
Sorry.
Well, I'm gonna go the other side like everybody else was going and attack this closest thing.
So as you walk out the tent, you can see there's one right in front of you, and you're watching as Dragon Bay is just hacking into this thing. And it really looks like it's Dragon Bait's getting some good shots in on this thing.
I'll join the party.
Alrighty then.
Oh, I would have told Davy Jones to flee. Like, or hide. So he doesn't get hurt. I don't want him to die.
Okay, so what'd you tell him to do? Hide or flee?
Flee! Wait, let's go.
Okay.
Because he can fly.
So go ahead and move him to where he would have gone.
Okay, he's just gonna go up in the tree.
Okay.
Straight up.
I'll just stick him, we'll stick him out in the river for now because
Okay.
he's out of play if he's up that high.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I can't summon mine. Like,
Okay, so first shot will hit Devonay. Go ahead and roll some damage. Oh, not bad. Then carve into him. Second one will hit.
yeah! Yeah!
Wow. Is okay. Holy,
Wow.
you are just ripping this guy a new one. Just go ahead. Devonay, you are really feeling good about it. This thing is looking like there are bits you're starting to carve into the chest and the arm. You've got chunks of this thing are just starting to fall to the ground.
No.
You're definitely taking some pieces out of this creature.
I'm going to stay where I'm at. And
Oh.
yeah, just that's it.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Malik.
Okay, I am gonna run over here and grab Quinn. Now, for Thunderstep to work, Quinn, you gotta be a willing participant to get the hell out of here, but are you good to go?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, sick. So I grab Quinn and we're gonna teleport back. Where can I find like a little bit of cover maybe?
Behind
We're gonna. Where's Steph?
Not the canoe.
Okay, not
Yeah, no, I ain't
Never
messing
mind.
with Stephanie.
Good.
We're gonna go over here, kind of nearby Solana.
Okay.
Okay, so as you and Quen just vanish and appear over there, go ahead and make your roll, because I know Thunderstep does some damage when you do it.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so dexterity save. Fails.
Eat it!
So it goes off that. You watch as this shockwave emanates through it, and you can watch as the body seems to almost ripple a little bit from the force.
Yeah,
But
he
the
felt
head-
that one.
Yeah, it's definitely now interested in the both of you.
Why'd you come over here?
As a bonus action, I mean, okay, he still notices me, so I'm just gonna yell at Dragonbait, like, oh no, this is your time! Finally! Only your melee attacks work, so get him! So I can give Bardic Inspiration.
Alrighty then. So that will bring us over to Quen then. Quen, you've just had Melik run up and say, "Are you willing?" to grab hold of your shoulder. And then, being you're magically inclined, you're not. You pretty much know what's about to happen, but you still get that initial sort of roller coaster-esque jerk as it feels like your stomach is left behind and then catches up with you as you guys appear a short distance away, and as you're looking around, you can see Solana's only about 10, 15 feet away from you.
Quen's caught really off guard, and he makes like a ah sound, and there's little like circles around his eyes. And he's a nerd. He doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know what's what, but he sees some big and some ugly, so he's gonna point at it and hope make it go boom.
Okay, which one are we pointing at? You've got a couple of them.
The one from my left.
So you mean the one that was messing with you over here?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll. Now, you guys are not playing with these. As much like it did when Melik shot into it, you watch as these multiple darts of force slam into the side of one of the arms. Watch as it seems to hit the elbow and the shoulder, you watch as the arm just sort of falls sort of limp to the side. And even as it's sitting there, you see it sort of tweaking, and just from the musculature of the shoulder itself, it starts twisting it back into place, sort of moving it. Its eyes are focused on you and Melik right now.
And then Quen's gonna move a little bit further away from Melik and try to take the least amount of tension and stuff as possible. Thanks, bro.
Do not treat me like a bug.
Okay, so as Quen's moving away, that brings us over to the three of them. The first one that is was currently looking up at Solana when you guys just appeared there, is actually able to get within range of Solana. So as it charges in, it is going to take a swipe at you, Solana, with its Morning Star.
Ooh, that hurts.
And that's going to hit as it comes charging at you. And all you hear as it gets up goes, the arm comes back over the shoulder and just slams this Morning Star down on the side of your head and shoulder, driving you almost to the ground.
I've been hit. Oh,
As that is 26
yeah.
bludgeoning damage.
That hurt a lot.
As this,
Oh my god.
as this thing just hauls off and pounds on you.
I'm not happy right now.
And that brings us over to our other one that is currently involved with Dragonbait and Devaney. And its biggest problem right now is Dragonbait. So it's going to take a swipe at Dragonbait again. And that will actually hit Dragonbait.
Really?
Yep. His AC is only a little bit lower than
We need to get
Devaney's.
him better armor or something better.
And that will bring us to our third one that was focused on Melik and Quen, but is now it sees one of its friends standing in the way is going to come up beside Solana.
Yay!
As it can't get to the others and take a swipe at you as well. And that's a 16 to hit.
Oh, it does not hit.
So as you're reeling from one, you see the other making a similar motion, the arm coming back over to try to come down on the other side of you. You manage to just slip out of the way from that.
Here.
And that will bring us over to Dragonbait, who once more, getting hacked up by this thing, is going to take 2 swipes in hopes of dealing with it.
Okay, that's good. Good.
And both hit. Yeah, so Devaney, you see this clearer than anyone as you watch Dragonbait taking his sword out and just starts carving into the chest of this thing, and then one backhand across the front of the throat. You watch as the eyes start to go dim, and as the eyes are going dim, it falls onto the ground in front of you. Eyes just vacant, staring into the ground. And that will end Dragonbait's turn and bring us up to Solana.
Okay. Man, I don't have a lot of I'm gonna shape shift. So I am very hurt. What? I feel like
Alana, my plan right now is to get us out of here with the same thing I did last time.
that's a good idea.
So if you want to heal yourself right now, you can do that,
Okay, I'll do that.
or whatever.
Okay, I will do myself. Yes, sure. Yeah.
Alrighty then, so Solana's feeling a whole lot better. Anything else you're doing?
I don't think there's much else I can do. Because I'm between. I don't think I can use the pick a 5. Right.
Well, you could move down closer into the middle between them.
Would that help you, Alex?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna stay where I am. And hope they don't hit me again.
Okay, so I'll bring us up to Devaney.
No, I don't think would work because I think everybody's too close. But do you think I could fit a fireball in there and just hit the 2 ogres and not anybody else?
That's a 20-foot radius, right?
Yeah.
I mean, potentially. I'll say go ahead and make a perception check, we'll say. Because it's possible to do, but it is very rough conditions out there. You think you've got a spot? It's up to you if you want to give it a go and see whether or not you judged it right or not.
Well, I don't see an obvious spot just from looking at it, so instead I am going to run and slash.
Alrighty then.
You're good at that.
So, go ahead and charge up to who you're charging up to and start making some swings.
There we go. Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
up at him.
Maybe I'll distract him.
Okay. So that'll hit. Hit again. And hit again is once more. As you guys watch the small whirling dervish that you have come to expect from Devaney, as she is just one sword after another carving into the back of this thing as it is standing in front of you. So anything you'll be doing as a bonus?
Make a silly face at it, and that's my turn. Stick up my tongue.
A new set of Devaney tonight. All right, a little playful.
Malik, that's exactly what you see as you're talking to Solana and you watch Devaney come charging up and the sword strikes and all of a sudden you see Devaney randomly sticking her tongue out at this thing. Mind you, it's looking up at Solana, so it's not noticing this, but you are.
And it genuinely makes me more afraid. So, I'm gonna scoot that way. Does that provoke an attack of opportunity?
Nope, you're still within melee of it.
Okay, cool. Solana, are you willing?
Yes.
Okay, we outie.
Are we not married? Okay, not yet. I got it.
Spell.
Okay. That's a different question.
Okay, so that is... And I just realized the last time I rolled a dexterity save instead of a con save. Oh well. So, con save fails and saves. So as you both all of a sudden appear right behind Dragonbait.
Yeah.
I'm this corpse.
And so you are... Sorry, give me a second. Just this one. Yep. Yeah, rather than doing it all on the screen where they have health bars, I'm doing it in my notepad beside me. And having to split 17 and okay, subtract 8. Okay, so as Malik has vanished over there.
And then one more thing, I will look at Solana and just be like, how you feeling? You feeling any better? You okay now?
I feel a lot better. I'm okay. Thank you.
Great. Take that as inspiration talk.
Yes.
Okay, and that'll bring us over to Quen, who is you're looking and seeing these two sort of, again, shimmer and sort of ripple with that same thunderous boom that Malik has let loose with his incantation. What are you doing?
I say, oh geez, Malik, what a show off. And then Quen's gonna run over to this guy here, and I'm gonna stab this one.
Alrighty then, so go ahead and roll an attack for us.
I'm gonna cast Booming Blade while I do it.
Okay. So as you charge up and attack, this creature manages to just pull up the Morning Star and knock it to the side.
Well, alright then. Quan will heroically hold his ground, and then end his turn.
Okay. And with that, as Quen has now charged up into the fray, and they're both still looking that direction, so they're both going to take a swipe at Quen right in front. First one is a 15 to hit,
Nope.
and the second is a 16.
Nope.
Okay, so as the two of them take a swipe at you, both missing. That will bring us back over to Dragonbait, who is going to come running up beside Devaney, and will take his two swipes. And
If you're inspired, miss.
they both end up hitting because of his thing, and that
Really?
is a nat 1 is an auto fail on an attack. So even if you have a plus whatever, so its AC's not high, but a 1 fails regardless. But it only has that effect on attacks. So
Okay.
as you watch as Dragonbait comes running up beside Devaney and carves into this one, much as him and Devaney have been doing to these creatures, it is still on its feet, but it is not looking in great shape at the moment. And that will bring us back over to Solana, who is Solana. You've got that same sort of, I just get dropped off the Tower of Terror. My stomach is a couple hundred feet above me, but I'm on the ground.
Okay.
And your stomach catches up with you. You're a little off put, but again, it's not.
Alright. I guess I'll try my bow and snaring. Because I can't see the lightning things in search of clues. I will try
So-
that. Kumbaya.
Okay, so that'll hit. Who are you shooting at?
I will shoot at... Oh, sorry. I'll shoot at that one.
Okay, so go ahead and roll some damage for me. All right, so as you cast your spell off, let's see. And I always forget now
Yeah, if you
what
get
the space of ensnaring strike is. Just a second here.
Said, have a strength save.
Yep, but what is the... Okay, so it's just a strength save and it's only on that one
It's a
creature.
large creature.
So, yep,
Okay, so have a
that has advantage on it, and
Oh.
that's a 24. But as that... Okay, so as you watch as this arrow sinks in, and you watch as the vines explode out from the shaft and start to wrap around this creature, it just flexes and pushes its chest out, and you watch as the vines rip apart. And as it does this, you watch as it starts to wobble a little,
Yeah, keep
and then
wobbling.
slowly collapses and falls forward.
Oh.
Seems like what little bit of energy it had left it used to try to break out of the vines.
Okay. Yeah! Kumbaya for the win.
Okay. And that'll bring us over to Devaney.
Oh, it's the same thing as last time.
Okay. So, fire when ready. Okay, so that'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage. It is still on its feet. It is looking extremely rough, though.
Yeah! Good job.
Oh, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage. Okay.
Not as impressive, but still.
As you carve into it and you watch as it starts to lean, the light going dim, and all of a sudden you hear as it rights itself again and looks at you.
Zombies.
And that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage. And once more, it starts to topple forward again. And once again rears back, bloodshot, almost cataract red eyes bearing down on you.
I would like to use my action surge.
Yes, get him! Get it!
Okay.
to see
Go
if I
ahead.
can do it.
Go ahead. Oh, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll. Okay. And as you carve into it with that last strike, how do you want to do this?
This is just, repetitive monotony at this point. Finally, when the zombie, falls over. Oh, finally. Okay. Looks around. Everybody else okay?
We get it! Nice job!
Thumbs up.
Oh. As you guys are spread around your camp with three rather large undead ogre corpses littered around the back part of your day's campsite.
Yeah, that's good. It's not. There you go.
I don't even think I can, skin these.
No, don't skin them.
Probably have too much holes in them anyway.
As you're looking around, given where you and Solana ended up, looking at the one that Devaney and Dragonbait were hacking it, you can see multiple deep gashes where Devaney had been carving into the side. But when you look at the larger, singular strokes from Dragonbait, you notice that the areas on the flesh almost seem burnt.
And Devaney will smile and wink at Dragonbait and say, "Nice sword." Because she was, right beside him when he was doing that thing.
Dragonbait gives you a sort of a, yeah, you know it, sort of grin.
Shoot. Are we shipping
What
this
is
or not?
happening?
I ship it. Okay. It's official. Alright. So. How do you have to move these bodies or they intrusive? No.
Bitch can eat me. There's no way. Absolutely not.
Why?
It's
Thanks,
like
guys,
rotten
for
meat.
hanging out, but no.
I would just like to point out for those watching via
Was that
Twitch,
just
as
an
you said, Gizzard would find a way to eat these. I've just told our players in the text chat in the game that Twitch chat is saying, eat the corpses. As you can hear, they're refusing. Gizzard would be very upset.
I mean, if he were here, there'd be a decent struggle to get him to not do it. This is just the one thing that no one can eat.
Just think.
You're probably right, yeah. Well, okay, so what time of day is it at this point?
So at this point, it's shortly after lunchtime.
Really after lunchtime, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, it's about midday. Malik was working most of the morning whittling down, making the upper bones for the canopy of the parasol umbrella setup. You guys all sort of got together for Quinn's early afternoon or lunchtime hot chocolate.
Well,
And
Solana,
just-
the skin ain't no good. Do you want to help me find some leaves that'll work for the
Sure.
umbrella?
Sure.
Devaney will actually dig around to see if these guys ate anything worth
Nasty.
having. Because, she's already wet and soaked, and why not?
You investigate all these corpses, and we'll go look for some leaves.
Okay, so I need a straight survival roll for this. Normally I'd say you have advantage, but given the storm, you'd have disadvantage. So you two working together, it's a straight. Oh, not for you, Devaney. You're going to be an
Oh,
investigation check.
Sorry.
Oh, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, waste the bad
Get the
roll.
3 out of the
I
way.
don't have good survivals.
So whichever one, either Malik or Solana can make the survival roll, but the straight roll, whoever makes it. And then Devaney, it's an investigation check for you. Okay. Okay, and Quen, while they're doing this, what would you be doing?
Quinn is still trying to see if the hot chocolate is still hot. But it looks like it's actually got rained in a lot. So that's really sad.
Let's get hot chocolate.
Maybe we can make more some other time. Quinn will help Devaney look for treasure in monster decks.
Alrighty then. So are you gonna basically give Devaney advantage, or are you gonna pick another one of these beasties?
I'll give Devaney advantage. Why not?
Okay. So I'll start with the easier first. So Solana and Melik, as you are sort of poking through, wandering around a little bit, you guys you guys are gone probably about 20 minutes to a half an hour, and you managed to come back with, let's see, we'll go on this immediate area.
Yeah.
You managed to find 8 decent sized leaves that you think it won't be as perfect as if you were to like dry something skin and make a solid piece for the top of it, but you get a feeling with the 8 leaves you were able to find, sort of sticking them in between the bones, it'll be functional. It won't be perfect. You'll still get like drips of rain and whatnot through it, but it'll be a
what I'm
passable.
gonna try and do is use those kinds of leaves, the like fern
Fern.
a ferny, yeah. And you ever watch like Survivor? They always like braid them together.
Oh, okay.
Talking about? That's what I'm
Yep.
trying to do.
So you can do something like that. You'll probably need to look for additional leaves then to do more, as the 8
Yeah.
leaves wouldn't give you enough to, with that style, to do
Right, but it's a
the
good
full
start.
thing. But
Okay.
oh yeah, it's definitely a good starting point.
Yeah.
So as for Devaney and Quen, come on, why are you not popping? Give me a second. There we go.
You're addicted.
I really am. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, needed a beverage. Okay. As you guys are poking around in the, first thing, the easy things you find 3 oversized morning stars. These are a little larger than what any of you could wield easily. But again, you might be able to bring them with you. Again, they're sort of rough and beaten up. The heads of them look to be decent chunks of metal, but the club shafts are a little rough. It's being dragged around by something undead. So,
Wow.
expecting tier A, not exactly tier 1 quality here.
Okay.
As you're also poking through, let me grab my little book here so I can see. Unfortunately, my tables do not track over. Do me a favor, Devaney, roll me a D100. Okay. And then as you're poking through and you're reaching through the innards of the first one that you and Quen are searching through, you managed to pull out looks to be a very nice steel lock. No key though. Like I says, you're looking at if you bring it back down, you're pretty sure you'd get a decent little bit of coin for it.
Oh, look. Look at this. Now, what could this possibly keep closed?
Everything is just
Well,
on the keyhole.
Everything, because nobody will be able to open it.
I think it'd make a pretty cool necklace.
I think we should just, unless you want to wear it as a necklace. I don't know how big is this lock.
Well, it's not really my style.
I say just put it in the bag of holding.
I'm putting everything in the bag of holding, by the way. I have that up.
Okay, so go ahead, Devaney and Quen. And again, either one of you can make these investigation checks where you're working together, but whoever makes it has advantage. So you've got 2 more bodies to search through.
I want to do this one.
Alright.
Okay.
Hey,
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. So, as you guys are poking through this one, with that roll, Quen, I need you to roll me a D100 and let me see, and a D20. Let's see what we get here.
Hold on, my brain got fried for a second. I forgot how to roll a D100.
/roll space D100.
I just clicked the thing.
Okay. And then roll a D20 for me. Okay. So, as you're going through the innards of this one, you find a two-person tent that this thing has managed to eat. It's missing some of the support poles, but as you're pulling this large matted ball of fabric out of its innards, inside of that rolled up tent fabric, though, you also find 2 healer's kits.
Wow.
Whoa, pretty nifty. Hey, maybe we can use this as like a tarp for our boat when it's raining.
Yeah, I was thinking this is good umbrella material.
Good idea.
Unless, I don't know how wrecked our tents got from but I don't know if we want to sleep in something that a zombie ate either.
Oh my gosh.
As you're looking at it, it is a little sort of biley. It has that lovely acidic odor,
Let's air that out for a while.
Yeah.
Or throw it out. I'm good with either. Most of the latter.
I can prestidigitate it clean
Okay.
after a while.
I'm cool with that.
Then you guys have 1 left to search.
Quinn, you seem good at investigating. Why don't you do it?
Alrighty, give me a dice. I'll roll it.
Fire away as Devaney's over helping you out, and
That is good.
I need the same 2 rolls from you, 100 and a 20. Alrighty then. Okay, so as you're searching through this one, you manage to, as you're carving out, you find a small, looks to be a rolled up little leather, looks to be a toolkit. As you unroll it and examine it, you can see it's got different scales and tools in it. Looks like something a ship's captain would use. You're pretty sure it's some sort of a navigational tool set. And also wrapped inside that, as you're going through it, you find a small wooden tube that has a cap on it.
A small wooden tube with a cap up on it. What sort of arcane secrets does this hold?
Are you going to open it, Quinn?
Oh, sure. Gwen opens it.
So as you pop it open and you get a little bit of a strange fluid comes out of it as you're pulling the top off of it. And as you look down into it, you can see that there are 2 small gemstones within.
Whoa! Are these what I think they are? I pull them out and I put them in my hand and look at them.
So as you're taking a look at them, you can see that they're a couple of stones, and I don't have a name for them, but they are worth 50 gold each.
Nice.
Whoa! Hey Solana, look, I got some
I
shinies.
love shiny.
Here, I'll give you one, because we're friends again.
Thank you.
These will be symbols of our friendship renewed, lasting forever until the end of time, through death, through the vast expanses of time and space.
Or at least until next week.
That too.
When we sell them to the highest bidder.
Quen, do me a favor. Roll 2d12 for me. Let's see what those 2 gems were. Okay, so one of them was an opaque white gem, and the second was a translucent rosy stone with a white star-shaped center to it.
Ooh.
Oh, Solana, which one do you want?
Whichever you don't want best.
I really like the pink one.
Okay, you go with the pink one. I'll take the pink one.
Okay.
Okay, so Quen, you have a star, and Solana, because the other one, I'm going to type this because Lord knows I have no idea how to say it. Chalcedony?
Alcidoni?
Chalcedony.
Chalcedony?
Okay.
Chalcedony, alimony.
I say it with confidence, you'll believe me. So, Alcidoni.
Damn Jambroni, whatever they used to say.
Zamboni?
So as you guys proceed to finish, running around elbow deep in ogre intestines, poking around our glorified zombie loot boxes.
Oh yeah, what does it smell like?
No, let's not.
It smells like death. I'd say warmed over, but it's basically moist death.
Moist death. I'll take it. That was my drag name. Waterdeep.
And all of our Twitch viewers just learned something about Quen that we didn't know. Moist
Oh, come on, like y'all never ran away from home before.
Oh my word. Moist Death was my drag name. I'd say that's our episode title, but I think Michael would hang me.
Yeah. Oh my god. I need to do that. Thank you.
So you guys have the rest of the day at this point.
Well, after Devaney's done rooting through bodies, she'll, move some ways away and just, have not a shower because she's not going to take her clothes off, but sort of a bath in the rain.
Rinse off.
Rinse off.
Oh yeah. Quen will, on the other hand, will wash everything of his in the rain. Slowly with prestidigitation. And will stand awkwardly in the jungle, wearing his underpants, leaning his robe.
And then start putting back up the tents.
Yeah. That's
Okay, so as you look over the tent you guys had set up, the couple of them that one of those creatures had been going through, you do have some, we'll call them claw marks on the front entrance as it just sort of reached in and just swiped its arm to open it wide. They're not horrendously damaged, but they could use a little care.
We had got a 2-person tent now. 2 people could
Yeah,
bunk
we
in
could
there,
repair it. Yeah.
Or
Would that be enough for the umbrella and for our tents, though?
who is mending? Does anyone have mending? That's always you.
No. Don't have mending.
You guys do have leatherworkers tools, so you would be able to do some repairs. But again, depending on how well that works out,
Yeah.
could impact how much is left over to work with for the umbrella.
Well, the tents are probably priority, and there are more leaves we can gather later, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to help? Would probably be appreciated, because this is important, but
I'll give you a nat 20 in fact.
hey,
Okay, so
I did a really good job.
and you're using this to basically use the using the tent pieces from the innards of the ogre to mend your existing tents, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Alec, do me a favor, just make a constitution save for me. We're just going to see how well Melik's stomach holds up, because Melik is doing exceptional work right now. Okay, Melik is doing every little bit perfect. It takes you about an hour to mend the 2 or 3 tents and get them all looking perfect. And immediately upon completion, you start violently retching. It's just too much. You held it in, you got the job done that you needed to.
Good job, Malik. I go over with a cup of green water in the rain. I'm like, here, rinse out. Gargle a little, it'll help.
Melik is gonna, like, literally drink it all into his mouth and then spit it all back out, and then just sort of, like, sadly, like, hold it and wait for it to refill. And do.
Can I find some
And,
peppermint? Peppermint's really good for nausea.
Okay, do that.
I'll
Do it.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
Yeah, peppermint. So good for
Okay. It takes you about 5-10 minutes. You manage to find a little couple of sprigs of mint. You can work with it.
good. Here, I like kind of, get the essential oil of the peppermint into the water and break it down, and you'll feel better. Just sip it.
Yeah, when you came back, you definitely found him just on his back, like trying to become one with the ground, as though that would stabilize his stomach.
Okay, I light my hand on fire and make tea, peppermint tea. I'm gonna give it to him. And there, that should help you a lot.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Oh my god. Thank you.
That's incredible. I was about to say it's like drinking cold peppermint tea, but it's not cold anymore. I am going to give a quick shout out so I don't forget to. Twitch chat has already decided Quen gets the nat 20 for next week.
I concur.
For
Moist death?
Moist Death.
Yeah. I wrote
We
it
had
down.
multiple in Twitch chat.
My amazing character development, you mean? Yes, exactly. Devonay is a princess, and well, you know the rest.
What do Solana and Melik's background hold? We might not know. Let's not know.
We may be afraid.
Yeah.
So as Melik and Solana finish up, as Melik finishes up his work, Solana gives him the peppermint tea, and everyone starts to stabilize and rest from the day. Is there anything anyone else would be doing with the remainder of the day?
Nope.
Done.
Trying to dry off.
Oh, okay, so after you've proceeded to basically have a cat's bath in the rain and all sort of retire back to your tents, again, sitting sort of in that cluster around what passes for a campfire as the evening starts to roll in. Have your evening meal together. As you notice the rain catchers that you guys have set up weren't damaged by the ogres during the attack, and are at this point filled to the brim. How are you guys handling? How are you guys handling the evening's watches?
I'll take the first one.
Last watch.
And we'll take third.
Malik, you want second, or you want Dragonbait to take it?
Malik will take it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and give me some perception checks. Okay.
I'm feeling much better after that tea. Thank you so much.
You know. So as you guys proceed to start taking watch through the night, and you all notice this as it is slowly happening throughout the evening. You notice the rain is starting to die down a little bit. Throughout Solana and Melik's watch, the really sort of raging heavy winds and rain start to die down and eventually disappear. Again, rolling into Quen and Devonay's. Even at this point, the consistent rain and thunder sounds like it's moving away. Even that ends up dissipating almost completely. And Devonay, as your watch is coming to a close and the group starts to wake up for the next day's journey, you find the same sort of, at this point, very humid, very rank, rotting jungle air as you guys left the bodies out right beside your camp. Luckily enough, nothing happened along during your night's rest that anyone noticed.
What?
Someone left their cake out in the rain.
And Ms. Producer, if you can follow the bouncing player flag one to the right for me.
Sure.
As you have, we'll phrase it lost a day, but the travel would have been difficult had you moved out yesterday. As breakfast is prepared, once more the day is as nice as it can be in the jungle.
Yeah.
What is the plan?
If we get to the river, is it faster travel than on the tributaries?
No, as you've been traveling through, and you've all seemed to have noticed, the rivers are, for the most part, almost stationary. It's all the travel is done through very minimal water movement. It's mostly you guys rowing. It's faster than walking,
Yeah.
but it's, as you're going through the tributaries and whatnot, it's about the same.
Okay. So we're almost to the river. I will make a survival check.
Okay.
With
I will
advantage.
assist you for advantage.
Thank you, Bookmark. Thank
So-
you, Glenn.
So as once more Quen and Solana start getting everyone situated and get prepared for the day's journey, you guys pack up and start moving out. And begin heading once more ever westward towards the mark that our merchant prince had advised Quen of.
Did he
They
say where
seems-
it was again?
So he put a mark on the map where he said it was within a few miles of this area.
But he
So
didn't
once you get
tell
in
us
that-
the name of the city.
He didn't specify a city.
so it's in the middle of nowhere, like the airship. Great. We should get that airship too.
I know, they crashed somewhere down south.
Oh, I did not know that. But now I know.
That's it. It's, let me actually DM cheat here. Look at my version. So I remember giving you guys that little tidbit there. Yeah, so they told you that it was supposed to be heading up to Port Nyanzaru, but it never actually made it.
Do we know where it left from?
Let me see here if they mentioned that. Where are you? Okay, let's see. There's a DM moment because I don't know. Snapping. Okay. So it was a Halruan airship called the Star Goddess. All they said is that they bet it crashed somewhere in the jungle.
Oh. Well,
So they
that's
didn't give
the only
anything
thing.
beyond that. Yeah, if you had a way to fly or get above the tree canopy, maybe you could see something. But then again, depending on where it crashed, it could be, at a high enough speed, just bury itself in the jungle. Or if it was just sort of putting along on top, it could have just fallen and be sitting on top of a tree somewhere.
I get to fly soon, guys, once I learn more stuff, so I can help with that, like Volta. And I got a flying monkey, so look at all the flying stuff we have. We should make a kite. Anyway,
As you guys start boarding up and start continuing west, Solana and Quen are navigating as be doing during the day's travels.
I'm gonna braid some leaves.
do you need anything from Davy Jones, Melik?
Not for this part. No, I'm actually good. But thank you, Davy Jones.
I'm
Does
have
he know how
Davy
to
Jones
braid?
look for some arrows, sticks. And...
Okay, so you guys, wow.
Ooh,
Okay, so
that looks like weaved.
yeah, Malik, you're managing to, you take those 8 leaves and manage to weave those perfectly, and get 4 literally just perfect panels for your umbrella parasol device.
Trying to count how many panels I'm gonna need with 8 bones, but nice. I got 4 of them.
Yep. Basically, you're going to need same thing. You're going to need a total of 8 panels, and you just made half of what you needed perfectly.
Nice.
So as you guys continue along, you actually have it. Is there anything you guys would want to take care of over the next couple of days as you're traveling?
Just getting
As I've just rolled through.
arrow things. Arrow wood.
Okay, so go ahead and make a check for. I'm assuming you're sending Davy Jones out.
Yep. I'm navigating.
Okay.
Jones, go look for stuff. Wait, is that wisdom? Did we say?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Davy Jones.
Okay. So Davy Jones disappears for a good couple of hours this time. Comes back and he's only got 4 or 5 sticks. It seems like he wasn't really able to get much.
It's okay, Davy Jones. You're a good monkey.
Much for you.
I guess over the next couple of days, at some point, I'm gonna be bothering Solana to help me look for a couple more leaves.
Okay.
Preferably about 8 more if we can get that many, if not more. And doing some braiding and some other woodworking stuff to finish up this umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Devaney and Quen, what about you two?
Over the course of the day, or days, Devaney is going to bring up the topic of Melik's hat.
What about it?
Because Devaney hasn't seen Melik take it off, and she's sort of curious. Melik, you haven't taken your hat off in a long time. Is it like your favorite hat? Are you afraid of losing it or something?
I mean, it's a great hat. I made a fantastic hat.
Yeah, I think I even saw you take a
We
bath
got-
in it once.
Can I try it on? It looks really nice on you. I want to see how it looks.
You see, it's actually made really, really specifically for me because of the horns and all. So I don't know if it would work. So, no, that's fine. Don't do
Oh
that.
yeah, I noticed your horns don't stick through the hat. How did you manage?
Yeah. I'm just really great at what I do.
One will snatch his hat.
No.
That is not nice.
Okay, so Quen, if you're gonna make the attempt, we'll say that. So we'll say this would be a contested strength. So you would make a strength check, and then Malik, you could either go strength to try to fight it off, or dex to try to dodge out of the way.
Well, I'm trying to snatch it really fast. Could I do sleight of hand or something?
And I would like to try to give Melik advantage because Devaney would try to stop Quen from doing so.
I'm just gonna stand there and be like,
But,
Melik got a
so
hat?
you're trying to hinder
I'm trying to hinder
Quen's
Quen
attempt. Okay.
from grabbing Melik's hat.
Okay, so then, yeah, Quen, if you want to try it as a sleight of hand check, I'll set a DC for it. Given Devaney is actively trying to hinder you, you do have disadvantage on the roll. So go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Ooh.
As with
Fast
as Devaney
reflexes.
is. Yeah, Malik, you see Quen coming a mile away, making a reach.
And he's got both hands on the side of the hat, holding it as tight to his head as possible as he's leaned out, half out of Stephanie, Don't do that again. Did you try that again?
Melik, when did you get a hat?
I made it. I made it myself a couple days ago, and I love it. It's my favorite thing that I've ever made.
I like it. Can you make me a hat?
Yeah, I can make you a hat if we stop talking about hats.
Okay. Why are we looking at each
Good.
other very intensely?
Because I'm making sure no one's talking about hats anymore. Alright!
What's a hat?
Stop it.
Remember the time we made you clogs? Where are your clogs? You never wear your clogs anymore.
Will it make you stop talking about hats if I put on the clogs?
I forgot about the hat. You brought up
Awesome.
the hat.
I don't need the clogs. I mean, the clogs are great, but
You
they
don't
kind of
need
hurt
the
my feet.
clogs?
They kind of hurt my feet.
They came from
I
Gillian.
know. Next time we go into town, I'll wear the clogs.
Okay.
They don't do great
I
in the jungle.
hand painted them with berry juice.
I know, they're beautiful. They're so beautiful.
Maybe we can sell them then.
Maybe Melik's just afraid that if he wears them, all the paint will wear off.
That's it.
You wouldn't want to ruin the beautiful paint job you did, Swan.
Exactly.
That's stupid. It definitely wasn't that shit.
Devaney shrugs I tried.
Quen will say, hey, wait a second. Remember that statue from the other day?
Hey, let's plant a bean, everyone!
Yeah, let's plant a bean. Let's do it.
I would pull the boat over just so we can plant a bean. Can we do that? Everyone has consensus? Malik, do you want to plant a bean?
Plant it in the boat. I don't care. Plant the bean.
Don't plant it in the boat, please. We'll wreck the boat.
Okay.
Oh my
You know
God.
what?
Wanna plant it in the boat? I got some dirt in my pocket.
Why
No,
do you
no,
do
not
it
in
your
Stephanie.
pocket? Okay, I'm gonna plant a bean.
Okay, let's pull over and plant a bean.
Let's pull over and plant a bean.
I'm sorry, when Melik wants you to plant a bean in the boat to change the subject, Melik wants to explode Stephanie.
Yeah, that's
to get
pretty
off of
bad.
this subject. Okay, so who's ever planting, go ahead and give me a roll. D100.
I'd better not roll anything in the 60s. Yeah, not in the 60s.
What is it though?
Not in the
As you plant this bean, well, first, where is everybody? So Solana's 0.0 planting the bean in the ground. Where would everyone be around?
I am probably 15 or 20 feet behind Solana, still with my hands on the hat.
One would be outside of the boat, but leaning on the boat, watching Solana plant the bean, however far in the jungle she is.
I'm like 2
How
feet
far
away
in
from
the
you.
jungle is Solana?
I'm only 2 feet away from you.
Okay, so you literally just hopped out of the boat and
Yep.
put a bean in the ground?
Mhm.
Alrighty then.
And
So
Devaney is going to be standing beside Milk.
Okay, so for all four of you, I need you to make dexterity saves. As Solana plants the bean,
Not my strength.
and the ground beneath you starts rumbling.
Oh no.
Solana, you stumble and fall
Okay.
as the ground starts to break apart. Devaney, same with you. I think gonna just do a straight D20 roll for Dragon Bait because I can't remember. Yeah, so Solana, Devaney, and Dragon Bait all fall to the ground. Melik and Quen, you manage to keep your footing for the moment. As the group of you see a small point appear in the ground and rapidly exploding from
my
the
God!
dirt, a four-sided yellow sandstone structure proceeds to grow out of the ground beneath you.
This is really neat, guys.
As this is growing, I need a dexterity save from everybody again. Solana, Devaney, and Dragonbait all have disadvantage on them as you are already on the ground. Okay. Melik and Quen, you managed to dive back in. You are now sitting within Stephanie as the river is starting to push Stephanie literally across the river to the other bank. As Devaney, Solana, and Dragonbait are all dumped into the river.
Oh no!
As the three of you go unexpectedly crashing into the river, and once more, as this is continuing to expand and grow out of the ground, a few more moments goes by. Melik, Quen, and Stephanie are now pushed up and beached on the other side of the river. Solana, Devaney, and Dragonbait, a couple of moments later, are pushed out of the river and up onto the shore as well. I need a Constitution save from all three of you,
Oh great. Oh, nuts.
as unfortunately being dumped into the river.
I got throat leeches.
Let's see here. I'm gonna pull up Dragonbait here just to make sure I get his roll correct. Yeah, so he only had a +1 to Dex, so he would have failed all those anyway. But come on, not down there. Give me the roll. Okay, so unfortunately, Solana, you are correct. You are now suffering again
Nope.
from as you come out of the water and start to sputter
I touch myself in the
And
head. I'm like,
Immediately you start feeling that sensation again. You're going, oh, I know what this is.
yeah, nope,
Immediately
nope.
casting the spell on yourself, and you feel that feeling
That teeny,
dissipate.
slimy feeling that
As
in your throat. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, as the 5 of you turn and look at what you've done,
Yeah. Correct.
you see a massive
Yeah.
60-foot wide wall
Yeah.
reaching across in front of you, spiraling up high into the air, the top disappearing into the canopy of the trees. Enter in front of you an open door leading into darkness. And that is where we will call an end to tonight's.
Solana, why did you do this?
I knew it was going to happen one time.
I love it. I love this pyramid you grew.
Although I have a plan, so don't worry about it. But
Good, I hope
I really want to go inside of it and die.
It's terrible. Gang.
Given what our party went through to get the alchemy jug, the man in Crocodile Temple, this is going to be hysterical.
I'm crying. This is terrible. This is the worst thing I could have rolled.
So Sarah is crying because Sarah knows what's going on, and she knows Solana's. Let's go in, yeah.
Yes, Solana's like.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna want to just dive right in
There's
there.
gonna be shinies inside, guys.
well, remember, Devaney stayed outside of the alligator and man temple or crocodile and man temple,
She
so
went in the
it's
first
Devaney.
time.
Yeah, you
Only
went in.
because not dragon bait, gizzard fell in.
Yeah, well, you went in though, and then I revived both of you, so. Oh my god.
We were like level 2 though.
Yeah, this isn't gonna be any better. Okay.
No, it's not going to be any better.
I know it's not.
It's
So thank you very much for those of us who are tagging along on our journey through the jungles of Chult, as our group of adventurers has just now, and actually, well, let me move them on the map here, because we were rolling for a couple of days, so you guys are getting closer. But now, as you've...
Man, we get bored really easily. We just do stuff, and it's not good.
you guys have made your way a decent distance,
Yeah, cool.
but have now created
A giant.
a giant pyramid literally in the middle of a river.
Oh, this can't be good. For the
It's
One of the
fans.
big rivers.
Literally.
too.
Cut one of the large rivers running southbound from Port Nyanzaru in half with the pyramid.
Oh no, this can't be good for the fish.
I mean, just the ecological issues that are going to arise from this will be staggering.
As a
You know, it's-
druid, I'm sad.
As a druid now, you have to remove the things from the pyramid so that you can bore a hole through it and let the river through again.
Oh, do I?
Well, if we plant another bean, maybe we'll get one of those bullets and they'll just attack the pyramid.
Will it? Sad.
Oh,
We could kite it around and then make it do that.
I'm so sad right now. My heart is aching.
oh, the DM is loving this. Although this means now I have to build a pyramid.
Yeah.
As, you know, Chult doesn't give me any pyramids.
Let's just not go in, guys. Curiosity killed the cat.
No, I have an idea, but we'll have to wait till next week
Okay,
to find out what it is.
Okay.
So, again, thank you very much, everyone. I'm seeing a lot of new names in the Twitch chat. Well, some of you aren't new. I guess I'll say new. They've been back in a while. Admiral Akbar, Bear Pits, Commander Root, Cute Heel Girl, Digitio always here with us, Electrical Skateboard, Matman Gaming. Robo Dokor Kron. I apologize, I bludgeoned that. Shout Gamers, so cool, bumpy. Thank you very much, everyone, for swinging by. Make sure you're back here next week as we can find out what our party is going to do with this pyramid that just grew out of the ground. Normally at this point in the evening, we ask our Twitch viewers what they felt about who they felt earned a Nat 20 tonight. But as those of you who have been in chat for a while, I've already noticed the chat called out for Melik for the drag name
No, Quinn.
Moist Death. Quinn.
Me,
Yeah, I saw you point over in my head, looked at the name because I saw you go. So they called out for Quen for the drag name Moist Death comment this evening. So, Quen, you will have a Nat 20 for next week. Something tells me you're going to want to hold on to that because
Oh yeah.
it's going to be one hell of a week. Thank you very much, everyone.
I'm
Don't
gonna
forget to
have a ball jumping in this pyramid.
don't forget to join us Friday nights as we run through Storm King's Thunder. You can see myself and Sarah both as players in that run with our most excellent and merciful DM Michael, and in the middle of a card game gone wrong, unfortunately, in that one. It's all going to be all entertainment the next couple of weeks here. Anything anyone else wants to toss out to our viewers before we take off for the evening?
Not, but well, sort of. There's so many new people. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
watching.
you.
It's been great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I love you. Eat your vegetables.
So with that, we will say thank you very much for coming by, and don't forget when you're planting a bean in the ground and growing a pyramid
Just don't.
and planning to walk through the door, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus, and we will see you next week, folks.
Yes.
Uh,